See what happens. Sweet. Okay. Oops. Yeah, Mandy. She just joined. Chris Hilligus. I should probably not try to say people's last names. I don't want to butcher them. We're just kind of getting a little bit of an early start here so we can try to work out some of the kinks. We've never done a stream with a co host before. It's only our second time trying to live stream, so let's get rid of this. I'll just pull up this down here for now. You guys can watch this drone footage of the Epstein estate. Or it's not really, because it's actually like way over here, I think, behind these islands, if I'm not mistaken. How's it going over there, Devin?
I keep saying it won't connect. I double checked what you sent me and it looks okay. Looks like I matched everything you sent.
Okay. Let me see here.
I don't think it'll let us duel. I don't know.
That's weird. I don't know how to go about fixing that. Let's see if I can. Man, it's so cold out. Yeah, it is really cold out. I agree. It's like, I don't even know what the temperature is here right now, but it's probably like real field -10 or something. Yeah, we're just trying to see if we can get Devin in on this stream too, because we were gonna test run this like co-hosting a stream. I don't know if I even like how I would control any of that either. So let me see what happens when I go to this stream. Turn the volume off. Nothing really. Let's see. Oh, God, I have no idea. Let's see. Oh, it'd be nice if it like if I had like a drop down somewhere for a live stream where I could do some controls and stuff. Maybe there is. I just don't know about it. Yeah, Sioux Falls is 0 feels like -4. Yeah, it's pretty bad. And my feet are freezing right now. I'm in my dining room and it's like the coldest room in the house at all times. I got no insulation in the walls in this 100-plus-year-old house, so confirmed after they drilled through my walls to get my fiber into my dining room. So, um, yeah, bro, I don't know, dude. Let me see. Okay. Yeah, let's go back to this footage here for a little bit, so you're not just looking at my desktop. Actually, we can look at this. So this is like a map of the islands. This is where the drone shot that I'm going to show you guys is from. So the drone flying here, looking this direction towards Great St. James and Little St. James. Now, Little St. James is Epstein's Island. That's the one with all the different buildings on it, the helicopter pad and whatnot. And let's see here. I have a graphic of that pulled up, I think, on Reddit. Right here. Yep. So I'm not super familiar with the layout of the island. This is the first time I've seen this image, but this gold domed building in the bottom left corner here, that's like one that's pretty well known, like through memes and stuff like that. You got a tennis court. You got a helicopter pad up here, kind of on the, well, I guess would that be the north? Yeah, the north of the island here. And then you got a pool, the main complex. And I'm assuming that main complex is where most of the photos that we will see are coming from. We can just play this footage and leave it on there. So, how does this stream look to you guys? Can you guys see this video footage fairly clearly? Figuring anything out, Devin?
So since you started it already, it won't show it to me anymore.
Oh no way, really. So it said, can you look up how to add a co-host via the desktop, like browser? Because I know you can do it on the phone. I did find that in the Substack help stuff. Maybe there's a way I can do it on the desktop here, and then I can just re-add you or something. So yeah, this island way in the back here is where Jeffrey Epstein's island was. Not these ones in front, but way in the back here. So it's kind of a far away view for a drone. I don't know why they didn't just go right over top of that shit. These are some of the images. I downloaded them on my laptop, so it'd be a bigger image because Dropbox was which is how they released the photos. The House Committee Democrats, anyways, they released a Dropbox that you can just click the link and download them if you want to, or scroll through them yourself. But so who do we got in here right now? We got Mandy, Chris, Elizabeth, Stephanie, Jonathan. We have MRT's haircut, the fire memes guy or girl, Donald Nelson, and Shelly. Awesome. Because like if I go to click on the live stream, like it doesn't seem to give me a whole lot of options.
Yeah.
Some more, no. Create, no. Go back to the dashboard here. Because like when I try to, like if I do create new live video, it just gives me the option to pull up a new one. So I don't know if we want to.
Hey.
Okay,
Just don't notify everyone.
okay. You can tell we're experts at this stuff. 9:30. Okay. No, don't notify. Invite co-host. We'll just do paid subscribers only. Beep, boop, Epstein. Okay. Why isn't that letting me? Okay, continue at Ravetopia. Create new live video. All right.
I got the invite, so give me 1 second. I'll pull up my codes and see if there's what they look like compared to yours.
Okay. What? No dry run before you went live? Bro, we have no idea what we're doing.
Is that the same? I just sent it to your Facebook.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, it is.
Weird. Yeah,
Yeah.
'cause I used the one you gave me earlier, and it's not working. It says we can't connect to it.
Hmm. Weird. Well, that's pretty lame. Let me see if I can look at something real quick. 4 minutes, you guys, and then we'll just do what we can. It's live on browser, desktop, browser. You cannot add a co-host to a Substack live stream after it has started from the desktop browser because the feature is only available when you initially set up the stream. It's dumb.
Yeah, I'm gonna technically try to start the other one you created. I'll stop it right away. I just want to see if it lets me connect.
Okay, sounds good, bro. Yeah, I mean, this is something we'll have to test out um, before next weekend. So, considering it's already not going super well, but I don't know if it's gonna let you start the stream since I'm the one that created it and scheduled it. What does this let me do? Cancel, invite co-hosts, edit. Okay, yeah. Let me get back
Yeah,
in.
hold on.
Okay. Well, while Devin's doing some troubleshooting, I guess what we could do is we can kind of just like start off by reading the oversight Democrats press release. So, ranking member Robert Garcia's statement on production of photos and videos from Epstein's Island, December 3rd, 2025. Today, Rep. Robert Garcia, ranking member of the Committee on Oversight and Government Reform, released the following statement after receiving never before seen photos and videos from Epstein's Island in the U.S. Virgin Islands. This production is in response to an oversight committee request to U.S. Virgin Islands Department of Justice for additional information to aid in the ongoing committee investigation into Jeffrey Epstein's crimes. The newly released photos and videos can be found here. There's a link there, and that just brings you right to the Dropbox. The committee also received records from J.P. Morgan and Deutsche Bank. Oversight Democrats intend to release files to the public after review in the days ahead. These new images are a disturbing look. I mean, we don't. That's just whatever. They're calling for President Trump to release all the files now. On November 18th, 2025, the Committee on Oversight and Government Reform sent the request to the U.S. Virgin Islands Attorney General for documents, communications, and information pertaining to investigations or potential criminal investigations of Jeffrey Epstein or Ghislaine Maxwell. So, one of the biggest things to note here, which I wasn't aware of until I started researching this evening before, to get prepared for this, is that quite literally, if not all, but a lot of these images were already released by James O'Keefe's O'Keefe Media Group back in May. So, interestingly enough, oversight Dems are claiming to have released new images, new photos, and videos that actually have already been public since earlier this year. I mean, it's 7 months. And I mean, I found a Reddit post that has all this stuff on it. And it even has unredacted versions of the redacted photos that the oversight Democrats released. Now, that being said, what's even more interesting is that basically every single outlet reported that these were new photos, and they're not. I mean, let's just do a quick Google search here. BBC, previously unseen images of Epstein's Island released 3 hours ago. Sky News, dozens more images of Epstein's Island released. Um, Democrats release images. Let's see, what do they say? I don't know if I subscribe to them if I can't read it. They don't say whether they were new or not, it seems. So New York Times doesn't claim they're new. Okay. Let's see. CNN photos and videos from Epstein's private island released by Democrats. Let's see what they said. Did they say new?
So I got it where it would let me connect to that new one you made.
Really? Well, that's pretty lame. I don't know why I wouldn't let you connect to the first one, dude. And it's like, damn, I don't want to restart the stream. I guess we could, but we got 10 people in here now. And I guess maybe just for this stream we can just, I don't know, stay on the phone or something and we can just talk that way. I guess I don't know what you want to do, but
Yeah.
okay. So let's go back to what I was doing here. PBS, never before seen images of Epstein's private island. USA Today, they put it in quotations. Jeffrey Epstein's island captured in new, never before seen images. House Democrats, this is The Guardian, House Democrats released new images of Epstein's private island. NBC News, new photos. I don't know. Yahoo, just probably republishing someone's article. Same thing though. Yeah, I mean, it's like everybody's saying that it's all new stuff, but like it's all easily verifiable that that's not true. It's all been publicly available documents and images for a long time. And the Democrats redacted a bunch of stuff that's just doesn't really make any sense. I don't really know how to shake that out. Is it like the Democrats are just completely incompetent on the House committee and they just really didn't realize that all this stuff has been publicly available for 7 months now? Or, I mean, if it was like just the House Democrats, maybe I would be not so concerned about that, but it's like the majority of the mainstream media are all saying they're new too. And I'm like, there's no way these people had no idea that James O'Keefe released this stuff. I mean, they keep tabs on that guy pretty close. So I don't know what to say about all that. But either way, I know I hadn't seen any of these photos prior to tonight. So we'll still go through a lot of them, some of them. They're pretty boring stuff. I mean, really, let's see. Um, what was it? No, that's a different one. So most of the stuff is just like boring photos of like different rooms in the house. There's not a whole lot of interesting things going on in them. Yeah, a photo that has like a landline phone that's got some speed dial numbers programmed into it with names on it. So we'll look at that. And I found on Reddit a list of what those all are, or at least the ones that they were aware of 7 months ago. And just got some overall photos of basically the entire island, from what I can tell. And there's some like really interesting art, sculptures, and stuff like that in there too. We can take a look at. But I definitely wanted to point out that all of this stuff could have already seen it 7 months ago. You'll just be in the chat. All right. Okay, man. Sounds good. So let me just check my notes here. So James O'Keefe did call for a retraction from the House Oversight Committee. He wants them to retract their statement claiming that these are new photos, which makes sense. I would suggest that basically every outlet that's published that these were new are going to have to publish retractions as well, or at least silently edit their articles. We'll see if that happens. It'll be something to look out for in the coming days. I guess what will be just as interesting is to see the new financial records they say they got their hands on. We can watch this short video here. I think I had it pulled up somewhere. Let me look. Probably not, but not anymore, anyways. There was a video of the oversight committee. Dems here talking about it. See if I can just go to their page real quick. Oops. Let's not do that.
Received access to Jeffrey Epstein's financial records from JP Morgan Chase and Deutsche Bank and plan to release that?
So we just received some documents from those banks. There is a request that the Oversight Committee made to get financial documents from Deutsche Bank, from JP Morgan. In fact, there's another 20 banks that we actually want information from. So we have received access to some of those documents, and not all of them. We hope and expect to receive more documents from JP Morgan and Deutsche Bank in the weeks and months ahead. And so our team is just beginning to go through that. So of course, our hope, as always, is to release as much as we can. We received also some photos and videos from the U.S. Virgin Islands. Many of those pictures and videos we believe have never been seen before. And so whenever we get information, we're going to put it out.
So it looks like we might be getting some financial records here pretty soon, which will be interesting to go through and see if there's any new information in there. Not 100% sure what that's going to look like, but let's see if I can get my stream chat pulled back up here. We got Eric Stoner and Christine Sinclair that joined. Welcome. Yeah, we tried to get the stream going with both Devin and I, but for some reason Devin couldn't get plugged into our stream, and we're not really sure why. And unfortunately, he's just gonna have to sit this one out tonight. But yeah, I guess we can kind of start going through some of these images. I mean, I don't mind sitting here for quite a while and going through a lot of this stuff with you guys, but like I said, honestly, it's pretty boring. So let's see here. Actually, I'll just pull up a fresh one. We'll start from the beginning. So this is just looks like just a screen cap from the. I'm not out. I'm in the chat. Yeah, he's gonna chill in the chat. He said so. So here's the first set of images, just basically just from that drone footage, showing you the kind of the overhead or somewhat overhead of the islands there. Like I said, this one in the back. I don't know, I can't really do anything to show you. If you can see the cursor, these ones in the back here, that's the Epstein Island right there. It goes by, what was it? Little St. James, and then the big one's Big St. James. And now this is a picture of what looks like a kitchen. Looks like a pretty nice one, actually. I wish my kitchen had that much counter space. All right, let's see here. Some other views of the kitchen. Some really weird painting of a child bathing in a sink holding a toy. Um, we got some photos outside. It's really hard to know exactly where some of this stuff is based on that overhead map that we looked at earlier. So, I mean, just kind of take it for what it is, I guess. Just some pictures of some walkways. I mean, I don't know what these lead to. Some decent views blocked by the trees. Nature. Then we got a close up of a nightstand next to a bed, um, with a flashlight and some a sleeping mask. Just find the four perfect palm trees. Oh wait. Yeah, no doubt, dude. I know. You got this nicely made bed. My bed literally never looks like that. Look, maybe a guest room or something, because I'm pretty sure I saw images of a different room where it was like it had glasses that look like ones that Jeffrey Epstein wears. So I'm guessing this is like a guest room somewhere. A little bit of a broader view of the room. So honestly, like, as much as it's like kind of a pretty serious matter, the whole Epstein stuff, like some of the artwork in these images is pretty amazing. I'm not gonna lie. That's probably some of the more interesting stuff we'll see. There are like 200 images, so I'm not gonna spend too much time on all these. More palm trees. This like slab, I don't know what the hell that's for. Sit on it maybe, or maybe that's a massage table actually. Some type of courtyard out here. Got some nicely stacked pencils in this cup here. A clock. That's that same room that we were already in. It's more of the same. Ooh, my bad. Some more palm trees and other vegetation. Really exciting stuff, guys. A table with a lamp on it. This looks like, oh, maybe this is a different room. Looks like they maintain a lot of the same decor. They got these like really interesting lampshades. I wonder where you get something like that, or what it's supposed to represent. Some fancy stuff that none of us normal people could afford. What they don't really tell you is that like none of these photos really give any new insight into anything. None of these photos really, I mean, obviously you get to see the inside of the premises, which is cool. I think that's honestly kind of interesting, but it's like we're not getting any really juicy stuff here. I mean, I'm guessing that there may be some more images that they're going to release over time, but a lot of the juicy stuff's going to be protected. So like a lot of the like you know anything that would be like crime scene status stuff's not really going to be made publicly available because they're trying to protect the abused victims. And I mean that's just kind of the way it is. It's like bad solo home pictures, kind of silly really. Yeah. All the stuff, but did you see the little like cloth closets? Guys so rich but couldn't afford closets, or they just too many places for kids to hide. Oh, jeez, dude, I know. They kind of like got the same style through a lot of these rooms, though. You got the same kind of carpets, you got the same lampshades. Oh, this one's different. This one right over here, kind of on the middle left. I don't know what that thing's doing there. Can't trust it though. Some more colored pencils. Oh, it looks like we had some artists hanging out here. A robe. And then here I think we start getting into some more slightly more interesting stuff. I don't know what this image is of. It kind of just looks like a handful of guys sitting on a dock. I mean, I don't know why that would be relevant to anything, but I don't know if that's just like a stock image or if it's an image of some people on his island. Couldn't tell you that. I haven't been able to find really any details on some of these more obscure images. This one was interesting to me. I'm not really sure. It looks like it's a painting in the frame behind this one that's kind of in front of it. It says, I am the subject. Yeah, that's true. Honestly, I mean, that place, well, I'm sure that these women are already kind of like in a really messed up mental state. And going through a place like that when you're already intimidated, you got Jeffrey Epstein, doing his thing. I would imagine that it is probably pretty disorienting. But this one caught my eye. I'm not really sure what we're looking at here. It almost looks like an American flag. I can see the stars down here, the blue and the stars, and then you got the red and white stripes. This is I am the subject. That's just really, really interesting. You got a projector and some magic conches down here. If anyone gets the SpongeBob reference. This is the projector screen for the projector in that same room. You got some like one of the first looks at some of the weird sculptures here. It's kind of blurry and hard to see in this image, but nothing too crazy. I've seen better setups in some homies' houses. A picture of the island that you're on, if you were there. A closer up image of these guys sitting here. It's real. I honestly can't tell if any of these people are of importance or relevance. So, but maybe maybe I just missed the internet sleuths. 16 by 10 screen. What do you mean? We had Five Pines to the north joined. Ogre joined. Nice to see you guys. Johnny Dobbs, nice to see you. GGRN. I think that's everybody. We got some more sculptures here. Looks like people dancing, I guess. I'm not really sure. Interpretive dance. Here's a clear close-up image of that first sculpture we saw in that room with the projector there. I don't know if anybody has any idea who that might be. Feel free to speak up. I sure as heck don't. This looks like a painting, maybe of the island. Some more artwork. And some more. This dude had a lot of art. Welcome, Kenneth. Thanks for joining. Some more art. We got some more interesting lamps over here. This one's a naked, well, actually, it looks like a mermaid. Looks like you got the mermaid tail back here. Some skulls and some, oh God, what do you call this? God, I can't think of it right now. Some tribal looking stuff. We'll just go with that. It's late. It's been a long day. Got some like little mannequins up here. Some more magic conches. Close up of that mermaid looking lamp. Way too many remotes. I would lose my if I ever had this many remotes to worry about. I already have a hard enough time keeping track of the one. Yeah, the lamp is really cool. I'm not gonna lie. It's pretty badass. This looks like the same room, just from a different angle. You can see the door going outside here. Yeah. Yeah, I wonder, Ogre said, I wonder if there's one of those leg lamps from A Christmas Story. Oh, I'm not really seeing a whole lot else like super interesting to point out. I mean, you got some more artwork I don't know if we got a view of already, but nothing too crazy. And I mean, obviously, like I'll probably we'll publish this post and we'll put like the Dropbox link in the post and some of the images that we found is interesting, so you guys can find it easily, or you can just Google whichever. Another angle of the same room. This is really cool. I don't know if I can zoom in. It's a koala. You can put all kinds of things on that, like a beer or a bong or whatever, you know? Looks like he's got multiple of those mermaid lamps, actually. And take one. Some chests over here. I don't know what you would put in that. Things. Now, this one, I also wasn't able to find any information on. I didn't have a whole lot of time to prepare for this, so we were just kind of whipping this together real quick for you guys tonight. But I don't know if anybody knows who this might be. If you guys recognize this guy right here. Is that like the Pope or something? Because you can see Jeffrey and Ghislaine there shaking hands with them, so I would like to know who that is. From Wayfair. Nah, dude, if we find any lockers, then maybe. Maybe. Especially if they have names of girls on them, too. Oh, yeah, this one was something Devin and I were going to talk about. Just this random Ethernet jack in this, like, stone wall here. Funny, because that's literally what I do for a living is install those, and I don't know who the hell decided it was a good place for it, but they didn't even put the screws in right. They got them all cockeyed. Jesus, what hacks? It's a cat. What is that? Cat six? It's cat six. The Pope looks like a wax statue. Was that the Pope? Okay, I kind of figured it might have been. Yeah, I mean, I guess I wouldn't be surprised if he met them though. All right, we got some more artwork here. This lady bending over and touching her toes, and it almost looks yeah, in like water. She kind of almost looks like I know it's like ripples in the water, but it almost looks like farmland with like water, like I don't know what you would call that, whatever that kind of farmland is. That's literally the first thing I saw. Yeah, I know, dude. The screws, bro. It trips me out. I can't stand that. It's so easy. You just gotta go like a quarter turn back or forward, and you're good, and make it look real nice. Got some monitors here. Guy has a lot of like monitors chilling. We got, I don't know, it looks like a no, this is the same room. You can see the monitors over here on the left-hand side, so it's the same room, different view. You got a TV there, some seating that looks like it can be placed however they please. Maybe they got these other ones all stacked in here for, the season or something like that, but I'm guessing they probably host some people in this room. Got a bathroom here. A really, really nice shower, honestly. God damn. A lot of soap and shampoo and stuff. Let's see what kind of brands they used. Aveeno. What's that? I can't see that. Kiehl's. Ultra. I can't read that either. Coconut curls. Oh yeah, I forget what brand name that is. My wife used to use that kind of stuff for a while. One shimmering light shampoo. Dove. Herbal essences. Dial. I mean, you got like basically all the big brands here. It's like a lot of stuff though. The guy, I guess, like to be really clean. Selsun Blue. Yeah, that's what it is. So Gemini says it's Pope John Paul II. Got it. Jayshree. I'm sorry if I butcher your name. Jayshree, welcome. It's like this is the view from that bathroom, from that shower. There's an overhead shower right here too. It looks like that's crazy, man. Got like a bath over here, dual sinks. This is where the old people bathe because they can't stand up for too long. Kidding, guys. Kidding. Just rich people stuff. You got an image of two people holding hands. You can see the shadow of the. It's not go there. Yeah, true. I don't know how many. From what I've read tonight, it doesn't sound like you know the government there was too keen on cracking down on Jeffrey on anything. But who knows? A lot of these lawsuits that were flying around ended up being settled outside of court. So a lot of the details that could have been found and put on record with the court never had the chance to, unfortunately. So we got some more outside pictures here. A nice big patio. I mean, honestly, like some of this architecture's pretty nice. I don't know if I like the color of the stones though, but I wonder what they looked like when they were first put in. Got some really well kept grass. And then this lady over here. I don't know what she's doing, but she's chilling. True, Devin. Yeah, true. That's a good point. It would be a lot easier to shower the drugged up victims there. Got some other people in the background here. I wonder if these people were with the team that, the law enforcement team that went out there to get these images. And then get some more sculptures and artwork here to go through. Oh yeah, these are the wolf canes that. uh, what did you say about those, Devin? That they were he watched too much Stephen King. This is all Stephen King's fault. I don't remember what book he said that was from. I'm not a Stephen King fan, so I couldn't tell you. Storm of the Century, like Kane's from Stephen King. Yeah, you got this one. I mean, it looks like what, like an old like toilet or something, and this lady's like peeing on it. Oh God, that's so weird. I don't know what I'm looking at. Let's just skip to the next one. You got this guy with a book. Some of these are really cool though. I like honestly like some of this stuff. This almost looks like it's from Oblivion. The Shimmering Isles, dude. Honestly, maybe he's a Bethesda fan. Was got just some like really obscure sculptures. I mean, this dude doesn't have any eyes. What's going on there? Excuse me. So I was trying to figure out what these were because it almost looks like they're like centaurs. Then you got this trident here, and then they got like fins. They're like a centaur, like an underwater centaur like hybrid. I don't even know. This guy's got a horn here. He's blowing it. Pretty on theme. Super cool stuff here. Yeah, very interesting. These almost look like, from this angle, almost look like crab legs. Oh yeah, look at that. It's literally got a tail. A mermaid. It's like a mermaid, I guess maybe a mermaid centaur hybrid. God, that's so strange. All right. Now this is where things get actually kind of interesting. So this is I remember seeing this on the on Facebook, people talking about the room, the dental, dental room here. And like he had all these like weird faces on the wall. Hmm. Yeah, Devin asked, think the dental office was because he had to make some of the trafficked victims look presentable. Oh man, maybe. I don't know. Like I could think of a lot of different reasons why you'd have a room like that. I mean, torture room and pull people's teeth out, make sure it's all cleaned up after. I guess make them look more presentable. Maybe it almost looks like there's some like dental equipment in the back in this other photo that we'll come across. But yeah, it is very strange. I mean, like we get some better photos of these faces too here in a second. It's funny because both my parents are actually dental technicians, making false teeth for dentists, so it's all super familiar looking stuff. Why are they weird masks all over the walls? Yeah, that's exactly right. I mean, they're still a little blurry in this one, but you can kind of see them here. Like this is probably the creepiest part of this whole thing. I mean, like all these faces are like really weird deformed features to them, and like some of them are like cheesing real big. He's got the red nose and like the clown like makeup almost looking for eyebrows. And then you got like this guy over here on the left hand side is like super straight faced. I mean, some of these are almost like bordering on like stereotypes and stuff. I don't know. Like, I'm wondering if those statues are definitely Greek, but they mix a Triton and a satyr together. Oh, is that what it is? See, this is why I need you here, Devin, because you know all this kind of like lore stuff that I'm just like totally not up on. I just want to know, like, were these made of people that have been to the island? Poseidon is technically one of the most famous Tritons, but as a god, he could change forms. Oh, okay. Let's see, I think we got some more pictures of the faces. Yeah. Like, are these real people? What the heck are these? I mean, it's just so weird. They're like hanging by these hooks here. Some close-ups of the dental equipment. Some more close-ups of these faces. I mean, I don't immediately recognize these faces as any particular person, but they were like mermen, but considered messengers of the sea. Gotcha. This one freaks me out, dude. Yeah, that one's my least favorite, I would say. Someone said on Twitter that why is Ted Cruz's face on the wall? It's like from the side view, it kind of does look like Ted Cruz, but we got some. See, what is this M9 Ultra Cave Clave? That's what I wanted to look up. Because I mean, this like literally looks like dental equipment that like my parents would use. I want to look this up. What is an M9 Ultra Clave from Midmark? Autoclave, is that what it said? It's for sterilizing equipment. Steam sterilizer. Sterilizers are designed with intuitive instructions. Cool. Cycle operation. This can help reduce transcription and documentation errors. What? Oh, interesting. Automated mechanical monitoring and chemical indicator reporting can save time, help simplify staff training, and give them confidence to process instruments. So, Hope's dad worked on them for a living with stairs. Yeah, so there it's a sterilizing like medical equipment basically. Use them in the vet office. Yeah, that makes sense. What was the other thing in there? Let's see which one is it right here. And then you got this. It's a biosonic. I can't see what that is, but I wonder if that's like one of those sonic like vibrator things or whatever. Any tool used in the surgery had to go through the autoclave, yeah, and the enclave. Ah, oh, dang, I already lost what that was. Sorry, guys, ADHD derpy brain. It was a biosonic. Yeah, let's see if we can find out what that is. It's a sonic cleaner, I think. Yeah, that's what I was thinking too. We use them at dental work on dogs and cats. Yeah, because my parents use a lot of that same equipment too. So that's exactly what this is: ultrasonic cleaning systems. Stainless steel tank. What you just put like I think my parents used to put like the freaking teeth and stuff that they had, freshly baked in the oven and stuff like that. They'd toss them in there for a little while. Most vets buy their used stuff from dental office auctions. Yeah, all the same stuff, right? Cool. That's kind of all weird for him to have there. I don't recall him being reported as a dentist. It's very strange. All right, let's move on here. Some more close-ups of these faces. And then you got more. This was actually thought was pretty interesting. You got these like two shells. I'll get a better view of it here in a second. And the letter E in between them. I would assume for Epstein or elephant, one of the two. Here's a really good view of that. It's that same patio we were looking at earlier, and there was that lady standing down there with the mask on. So I'm pretty sure these photos were taken during COVID. 2020, I think. Just some more images of the property. They, yeah, the giant shells look like they could be testicles. Yeah, I guess so. I suppose. More palm trees, just in case you didn't get enough of those already. Yeah, I mean, a lot of this stuff's pretty boring. There's some like those fit that dental office with the face is honestly probably the most interesting images in the collection. There are a couple other ones that stood out that if you've read the reports at all today, you've probably already seen. But got some more sculptures. That pool that we saw. If you were here early on, you saw the map of the island. We can maybe pull that up again at some point. But shooting a bow, something I've only done one time. I feel like there could be a lot more pool here. There's just like a lot of patio and not a lot of pool. More palm trees, more palm trees. Some other trees mixed in with the palm trees. I'll go a little faster through some of this stuff. Some steps. I think they get a close up of this here. I want to see what that was. Yeah. Little St. James. Northeast, southwest. Another magic conch. Guns only. Yeah, Devin, I know you guys only play with the bows anymore. Oh well. Some rock walls. Hey, there's a little lantern there. lantern hanging there. Some windows built into that wall there. Better view of the lantern. I wonder if that's actually got electrical run into it. Kind of looks like it's a just a light bulb in there. I don't know what's behind there. Looks like a boat in the back there. Maybe. Again, yeah, all like a lot of these photos, at least the ones that had like interesting things in them, like the phone that I don't think we've come across the phone yet. There's also a chalkboard we haven't come across yet. Were released by James O'Keefe in May earlier this year, so 7 months ago. Yeah, I know, dude. That's what I was. Yeah, Devin said from a distance, the boat almost looks like a stormtrooper. That's literally what I thought too. Is why I grabbed my attention. And then you got the boat named Little C. Now, I don't know. It almost seems like a play on Little James, right? Little St. James Island, but I can only imagine what that C stands for. Think of a few things, but I don't know if I want to go there. So, I don't know. You guys can tell me what you think Little C, what that C stands for. He hired the stormtroopers for protection, but when the feds came, they didn't hit a single one. Good one. Little C, got the Yamaha engine on it. I'm guessing that this is a tag, a registration tag. VI 2907-TC. If anybody wants to look that up. Man, my phone vibrated so loud. Totally startled me. Got some water pictures here. It looks like really nice waters, actually. Some more conch shells. Then you got a no trespassing sign. Says warning, attack dogs on premises, no trespassing. So, one sec, guys. I confirmed all the co-host does. It shows it to their followers. You can't dual host in Substack. On the browser, you mean? Because you can totally have two people on. We have to be together in the future. Okay. Yeah. Substack needs to up their game. So the sign says warning, attack dogs on premises, no trespassing. And then over here you can kind of see no trespassing monitored by CCTV, which we do at some point come across an image of the security monitor. Got some people standing over here. I'm guessing these are their vehicles they're using to drive around. They just look like silhouettes. The guy's got a hat on though, I can tell you that much. Oh, and then you got the boat. And this guy. Does that look like a law enforcement boat to you guys? It's got some pretty fancy equipment on top here. Got whatever this is, some type of pad here. And the stairs leading up. Yeah, this is actually really freaking sweet looking. Got some clay pots over here. You got the statue in the back here. It's like a seating area. Yeah, I think on mobile you might be able to use the co-host function. Works better there, but definitely not on PC unless we do some fancy stuff. Yeah, that's unfortunate. I mean, I can always just come over to your house and we could do it together that way. That's totally fine with me. It almost looks like that was like a seating area, doesn't it? And then facing down over to this, what would be like a stage. Maybe where they had some parties and girls dancing, or maybe not. I don't know. Maybe one day we'll know more. Maybe. When the entire media apparatus gets behind the Democrats' release of quote unquote new images. It's hard to believe that we'll actually get anything from them. But as long as we can access whatever they release, I mean, we'll go through it ourselves and see what we find. Um, Got a nice little villa out here. Got some more ladies with purses, big purses. Diving board. So it's the second pool we've come across now. This one's pretty deal. Looks about the same, honestly. Same size. A little bench to look on over the water. Some more palm trees. Now here is the image of the security monitor. Looks like they only got like 3 active cameras. Now I couldn't tell you if any of this stuff was active prior to the feds getting there. I mean, from what I understand is that these images were taken after Epstein's arrest, and um, I mean, it's hard to say what they did before they took this photo. You'd think that if this is all evidentiary photography they're doing for the crime scene that they're investigating, you'd think that they wouldn't touch things before they started taking photos of them, but it's hard to say because, I mean, if we look, we got, what, 16 channels, potentially 16 channels. I mean, I know that working on security systems, you don't generally set up all the extra channels for no reason. It's typically because you have that many cameras. I mean, I don't. That seems like a decent amount of security cameras to have on a island like that. So potentially up to 16. And that's assuming that this is the only, there isn't like a further dashboard that you can scroll to. But assuming that this is just all that would have been hooked up to that NVR, that's quite a lot of cameras, and I'm guessing a lot of footage that they have their hands on. So, and you can see at least the ones we can see. These ones are looking out over. Looks like the water where that little white bench was. Kind of like the beach area down here in camera 4, and then you have this one just looking like more beach and more water. This I definitely want to look more into and see if there's any more information on that, and like how many cameras. I know that we know that there's like what thousands of hours of footage that the DOJ has their hands on. Hopefully, that footage would be, or a lot of it would be included in the release. So we got another bathroom here, maybe. Yep, another shower, standing shower. Kitchen. Got this interesting little box over here with some glasses on it. Some remote to something. Various tea and coffee looking things, making things here. The knives that he used to cut things. Just go with that one. Got some lotion and suntan lotion and stuff over here. And whatever these things on top of the cabinets are, I could not tell you. Oh, man. Some more scenery. I'm gonna start. Oh. In this image, you can see that one of those notorious buildings that were popping up in all the Epstein didn't kill himself memes. I mean, I'll literally never forget this. I know there's like some conspiracy theory about Ellen DeGeneres' show having the set designed to mimic Jeffrey Epstein's Island, and like this specific building, and like the palm trees and everything. Super weird stuff. Some really nice live wood furniture. I mean, look at that. Now, I'm not sure what building this is in. I don't know if this is the one on top of the hill or not, but it might be. You got this really crazy look at bookshelf. I mean, look at that. And these two pillars are like different. This one's like super basic, and this one's got this like swirl to it. I mean, that's wild. These chains hanging down. They really liked shells. I mean, that's like totally a theme throughout this whole thing. Almost looks like this was under construction, huh? Yeah. You got this level down here. You got some buckets, ladders, scaffolding. The floor's partially done. Welcome, Chris. Thanks for joining. We've already gone through quite a bit of the photos so far, but there's still some more. And you got this like really, really dope ceiling. Now this is where Devin can come in on some of this stuff. So this looks like some... Oh, you know what this is? Orion, unicorns. Yeah, this is like some mythic god stuff. I can't really see. Scorpio. Oh, this is stars. Virgo. Cancer. Hercules. Getting tired. This was basically just kind of showed the layout of the islands from the drone shot being over here, looking out this way. Little St. James is the Epstein Island. If you missed me saying that earlier, Great St. James is the one kind of in front of it. We got some videos. These are all relatively short. It's all mythos stuff. I think most of it is Greek, but I'm double checking. He seems to have a theme. Yeah. You can turn the volume up. I don't know how loud that is to you guys. Let me know if it's too loud. Yeah, it's mostly Greek stuff as far as I can tell, yeah. So he was into Greek mythology. We know that much. Just some footage of basically all the stuff you've already seen in photos. Thanks for joining, Donna. Just looking at some footage of some of the areas on the island that we've already seen in photos. Let's get you caught up. Looking at that pool again from earlier, at the guy with the bow. Oh, that's the helicopter pad. Maybe. Looks kind of small to be a helicopter pad, though. This one gives you a pretty good layout of things. In this section of the island, at least. It's that same pool area. I mean, they basically recorded every square inch of this place, it looks like. I'm sure there's more that we haven't gotten yet that may be released, and I'm sure there's stuff that just will never be released. You get some interior footage here. It's that kitchen from early on with the weird photo of the baby. I mean, look at the amount of money that's sitting in that kitchen alone. Yeah, bro, that fridge was massive. I wish my fridge was that big around Thanksgiving. We couldn't keep my water filter in the fridge for a few days there while we were working our way through the leftovers. God, we had like so much food left over from Thanksgiving. It was only Allie's family, just like her mom and her brothers that showed up. So it was like way less people this year than we had last time. You don't even have to chop them up. It would save so much time. Yeah, that's a good point. Good point. Just a lot of stuff we've already seen. Ugh. Well, it looks like you get a better view of a bathroom here attached to this room. I don't even know if we've seen that bathroom. At least not from the inside. Yeah, I mean, when you're bringing that many girls, Devin said at least he provided ample hair products for all the people who came through. Yeah, when you're bringing that many women through the island, you gotta have hygiene products, I suppose. I don't know if I would call him a good host, though. Definitely wouldn't go that far. The nice thing about these videos is it really gives you a much better idea of kind of like the layout of things on the ground there. It's like a pretty decent sized island. I mean, it has like multiple structures on it across the whole thing. It has the helicopter pad too. Yeah, he probably only stocked it after he and Trump had their falling out over the wrong product for his special hair. Yeah, I mean, I could see that being the thing that puts Trump over the edge, honestly. Hey, Stanley, thanks for joining. Just looking at some videos of the island right now. I feel like you get lost real easy in this place. 1 second. There's a car horn going off. I assume it's just my neighbor accidentally pressed his keys or something. I don't see anybody out there. Always got to keep an eye out for your neighbors, right? This one's pretty long. It's like 2 minutes long. I might just kind of skip through some of this here. She has her way to speed it up. Probably. I'm just dumb. They're gonna stay there. See, I wonder if this is like a little storage building, or if that's one of the rooms we've already been in. It's kind of hard to know which structures you're in when you're in the pic going through the photos. Yeah, I'm wondering if that is the helicopter pad. They're just doubled up.
Staying nice and warm in here.
See, that's what we needed this whole time, was some commentary. Is that all of them? There might be. I had a feel like we did not come across that one image of the. Let's see here if I have it pulled up on any of these. The one image of the chalkboard with the writing on it. So what we'll do is we'll just kind of go look at that. We also didn't come across the images of the phone either. I must have skipped some in there. Let's see. So I can find which one of these. O'Keefe Media Group, Oversight Dems, James O'Keefe. Let's pull up his deal here. Oh, actually, that was it right there. So the image that the Oversight Committee released of this Panasonic landline phone. Why is this in the way? They redacted some of the names on here, some of the speed dial names. So the ones they left in were the New York office, which I believe is Jeffrey Epstein's New York office. You have Darren office, Darren cell, Rich office, Mike cell. Then you have redacted cell, Patrick cell, redacted office, Larry cell, and there was also another fully redacted one right below the New York office at the beginning there. And then below that, you just have like kitchen, and I'm guessing basically local lines to the various phones throughout the island there. So that's the redacted version. But as we said earlier, James O'Keefe published images of this stuff unredacted earlier in the year. see if we can blow up this image here. That's a really bad version of it. I know I had it pulled up earlier, but I'm gonna have to go back and find James O'Keefe's images of it. Maybe it was in the comments. Yeah, here we go. Here's a much clearer version of it. So you had these two images were kind of like the big ones because they actually had something on them, right? They had the names and then they also had some writing on this chalkboard. And the top versions are the versions that the Oversight Dems released, and the bottom ones are the ones that O'Keefe Media Group released. Now, when you zoom in here, you can see, at least for this chalkboard, you had words like power, what looks like plants. God, I can't read his handwriting. I don't know. Apparus? I'm not sure. I'm not sure what that one is. Music. Some of this stuff is just really hard to read. It looks like A minor, something like that. It looks like a reference to music. Then time, the word time right here. The word dank brain. I mean, honestly, power, deception, something face. I can see face right here. I can't make out what this word is. This looks like the word political below some other words I can't make out. Just some like really weird scribblings by, I assume, Jeffrey Epstein. Is hard to say for sure. But more importantly, we have redaction, or we have the unredacted image of the phone here with all the different speed dials. So you have the New York office. Now, you can see the image here, but it's not going to give us a whole lot of insight. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually just going to pull up the Reddit post that I have here that explains what this stuff is. So this post is from 7 months ago. You have the New York office landline for Epstein's Manhattan townhouse office at 9 East 71st Street. And then the fully redacted name was of a Jeffrey Epstein's girlfriend at the time, and I'm guessing that they redacted her name fully because she's probably considered a victim. So, but I mean, she was known publicly to be his girlfriend at the time. So, Karina Shuliak was reportedly Epstein's girlfriend at the time of his death, also identified as a potential beneficiary to the 1953 trust, specifically a personal property valued at $4.65 million located in Manhattan. She was the last person to speak with Epstein by phone on August 9th before his death. Then the name below that, Darren Indyke, Epstein's personal lawyer for 3 decades who helped cover up Epstein's crimes. Epstein was godfather to Indyke's 2 daughters. Indyke was named as executor in Epstein's August 8th will. You have the New York office, landline for Epstein's Manhattan townhouse office at 90 71st Street. You have Rich office, Richard D. Kahn, Epstein's longtime certified public accountant and the 1953 estate's other co-executor. You have Mike Sell. Energy saver mode is on. Why? Sorry, guys, 1 second. Oh, it's because I'm not plugged in. 1 sec. Go. You have Mike Sell, possibly Mike Wallace. I don't know. I'm not gonna put my name behind it, who that might be, but someone named Mike Sell. Anna Sell. They're saying possibly Anna Malava, ex-Miss Russia. Flight logs show her on flight log shows her on the February 23rd, 1999 flight from Little St. James to Palm Beach with Prince Andrew. And so Mike Sell, his number appears in the 2004 contact book. Victims testified Epstein Maxwell name dropped him to impress them. Patrick Sell, possibly Patrick McHugh, executive director, J.P. Morgan Chase, testified that Epstein wired $30 million to Maxwell. in the Maxwell trial, December 2021. Steph Cell unknown, and then the STC office, which is switchboard for Southern Trust Company Inc. Epstein's U.S. Virgin. Yeah, you're right. He is no longer Prince Andrew. What's his new title again? It's like pretty lame now, actually. Epstein's U.S. Virgin Islands-based data mining firm, later called a front for his trafficking enterprise. That's the STC office. They redacted that. It's just his name now. Oh, his name's pretty lame. I'm not gonna lie. Yeah, no, like I don't understand why they would have redacted that STC office, considering it's just like one of his trafficking enterprises. Okay, so Prince Andrew's, or former Prince Andrew's name is Andrew Mountbatten Windsor. I mean, it's not the lamest, but it's not as cool. And then the final one was Larry Sell, Lawrence Larry Visosky Jr., chief pilot, 1991 through 2019, first witness at Maxwell trial. So, yeah, I mean, I can understand the redaction of Karina Shuliak based on like the idea of protecting the victims. That makes sense. I mean, I'm not necessarily questioning that one all too much. But the interesting detail is that she's identified as a potential trust or beneficiary of the trust. So for his property in Manhattan specifically. Now, they did redact, if I'm not mistaken, Darren's name and then the names of all these other people here that were involved. Wait, which ones did they redact? I gotta double check 'cause I can't remember off the top of my head. So they didn't redact everyone. They redacted, it wasn't Darren, but that was who it was. They redacted basically just the STC office and then the potential female victims. So really the big one is the STC office. Like, why would they redact a business that's allegedly a front for laundering money? That doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me. I guess maybe because it's part of an investigation or something, but that's about the only thing I can think of. So where was I? Oh yeah. I mean, this is a little bit more detail, a little bit more information, some insight into some of the people potentially that were at least involved with Epstein. It's hard to say. I mean, a lot of this stuff isn't necessarily, or at least I haven't seen enough of the case to know if a lot of this stuff was, recorded as fact in a court of law. But this information was from 7 months ago when the drop happened. When O'Keefe dropped all these images that are now being re-released. So I mean, it's not. I don't know. It's really disappointing that like it seems basically every single time there's a release, it's either only of something that's you know framed as damning towards Trump or is stuff we already have. I mean, that's just like basically been the theme the entire, you know, I don't know, for the past as long as I can remember, to be completely honest with you. I mean, like since I even became aware of any of this stuff back in like, yeah, that 2020 time period when that was like honestly when I first became politically active at all. It's just the same BS. I mean, we're just never getting any new information unless it's coming from, court or media. So, and the media literally either didn't know that James O'Keefe published this stuff already or just blatantly lied about the fact that a lot of this stuff was already published publicly in unredacted form. I mean, I didn't see a single news outlet report that James O'Keefe already published this stuff, which is kind of concerning. I guess it's kind of par for the course. I mean, how do you have trust in, media when like these, supposedly reputable media outlets don't even have, don't include in their reports that this stuff is so old. I mean, it's like, how could they not know? Like, I didn't know until I looked it up on X. I guess that is the place where you're going to get a lot of information you'll never find from the media. So I guess we'll see what happens. I would be interested to see if the media does any retractions or edits any of their articles, because it's literally a blatant falsehood for them to publish that this stuff is never before seen or new. There may be some new ones, but I guess the accurate way to represent that would be that, you know, some new amongst already published images. That's not what they said. So, kind of concerning. I mean, we got what? A couple weeks now till the DOJ is going to be forced to have, to release all the Epstein files. I mean, I don't necessarily want to go into what that bill says. It's not a very long one. I'm going to go into it a little bit deeper in my part 3 of my Epstein series that we'll be releasing over the next 2 weeks. The first part I already released this past Monday. But just basically more so a series to kind of cover the, the beginnings and up till current of the Epstein saga. Some, there's going to be a lot of detail that I can't, reasonably put into a, somewhat consumable bite-sized article, but it's more so just to kind of give a refresher on the overarching details of the case before the release, because I mean that'll be what I'm going to be focusing on as soon as that drop happens, if it drop happens, and we'll be reporting on it to the best of our ability. So keep an eye out for that in the future. I mean, really, it's kind of disappointing that like I got all excited about going through these images just to find out that a lot of people have already seen them. But I guess the news story for the day is that they're just doing the same stuff they've been doing the entire time. So I guess I don't think that's breaking news by any stretch of the imagination, but it's worth talking about. So let's see if I can pull my chat back up here. Don't know if I missed anything. Well, my Brave browser was backed out, but yeah, I was considering going through some other stuff here. I think maybe we'll just do that real quick here before I log off for the night. It's getting pretty late. It's almost 11 o'clock. One thing that I found while I was researching was the this court docket, USVI government complicit in trafficking, JP Morgan Chase says. And this was a response to JP Morgan Chase being sued by the Virgin Islands government, essentially. And so let me just pull up my notes here. So the U.S. Virgin Islands sued J.P. Morgan Chase in the federal court in New York at the end of 2022, and they argued that the bank knowingly enabled Jeffrey Epstein's sex trafficking operation by keeping him as a client, processing his payments, and ignoring obvious red flags. Now, J.P. Morgan has already paid out hundreds of millions of dollars in settlements over lawsuits regarding this very specific thing. I think it's like 2 different suits, one with the Virgin Islands and then one with the victims. So, I mean, being settled outside of court, it's not necessarily pleading guilty, but I think it's unquestionably true at this point that that J.P. Morgan was facilitating this and knowingly doing so. So what this specific docket was J.P. Morgan Chase arguing back, denying liability, blaming one of their former executives, Jess Staley, and arguing that the United States Virgin Islands officials themselves were complicit by giving Epstein tax breaks and political cover. Now, that was what I thought was interesting, because their response to being sued by the Virgin Islands government was basically accusing them of being involved as well. And so I think there's a little bit of this that we can read in basically the summary. I think that like kind of the preliminary statement here, I think gives some insight into, you know, quite literally that it may be true because this was never hashed out in court. It was settled outside of court, so we don't have like an official yes, this is true, but this is what J.P. Morgan claiming. So, plaintiff government of the United States is complicit in the crimes of Jeffrey Epstein. Epstein could have lived anywhere in the world. He chose USVI, which is the United States Virgin Islands. Discovery obtained in this case reveals why. For 2 decades, Epstein maintained a quid pro quo relationship with USVI's highest-ranking officials. He gave them money, advice, influence, and favors. In exchange, they shielded and even rewarded him, granting him more than $300 million in tax incentives, waiving sex offender monitoring requirements, looking the other way when he walked through USVI airports accompanied by girls and young women, and even facilitating ESL classes and visas that allowed Epstein to bring victims to his island. And in 2012, when USVI sought to bring its sex offender laws into compliance with federal standards, USVI officials solicited Epstein's input into the changes he would like to see added to the bill. For 2 decades, and for long after JPMC exited Epstein as a client, the entity that most directly failed to protect public safety and most actively facilitated and benefited from Epstein's continued criminal activity was the plaintiff in this case, the USVI government itself. Though the USVI government hopes to shroud itself in exemptions, it is a plaintiff in civil litigation like any other. Tellingly, USVI's motion seeks to strike only those specific defenses that threaten to expose its relationship with Epstein. The law affords defendants equitable defenses to protect them against precisely this sort of one-sided presentation of the evidence. This court should see the USVI's gambit for what it is and deny its motion. Yeah, I mean, if true, if those accusations are true, I mean, that's like right there is evidence that the government was involved in the trafficking. I mean, I don't really know how else you would cut that. Now, like I said, the way this never actually went to trial, so there's only so much you can do with that information. But I mean, if J.P. Morgan Chase as an organization, as a bank, as a financial institution, is throwing accusations like that against the government, in the court of law, that is not something to scoff at or dismiss, in my opinion. So, I mean, I'll drop a link to this stuff. I'm getting really tired and I don't want to get too much deeper into this, but I mean, like, we're talking $300 million in tax incentives. It really goes deep into how he courted U.S. officials. I guess we could read a little bit of this. Epstein's corrupt relationship with USVI began with gifts. Epstein courted USVI officials with money and favors, which USVI gladly accepted. Epstein funneled money in 3 ways. First, he funded and advised on the finances of the USI government itself. For example, in February 2017, Epstein wrote to USVI First Lady Cecile Dejean, referencing her husband, USVI Governor John Dejean. The V government is desperate for cash, though the VI, Virgin Islands government, is desperate for cash. Does John know of any asset they might have that I can use as collateral, islands, etc.? The amount to be collateralized was $50 million, and First Lady Dejean replied that she would get a list of GOVI properties. Example 1, Epstein also gave money to fund the USVI Department of Planning and Natural Resources. Exhibit 2, for example, in 2017, he directed that a $25,000 check be cut from his company, Southern Trust Company, to the DPNR, the Department of Planning and Natural Resources. Not only did the DPNR take his money, Don Henry, the DPNR's commissioner, actively facilitated Epstein's apparent preference to donate to a school library, writing to him, "If you prefer to donate to school libraries, I can connect you with the commissioner for education. Either way, the territory wins." In an email sent just a week prior, Epstein wrote to Commissioner Henry that he had given $25K to the home for girls in St. Croix, and asked her where to direct $25,000. That same commissioner later started stated that when Epstein was alive, we weren't really willing to hold him accountable. And Epstein, who was jailed for soliciting girls as young as 14 for prostitution, gave gifts to school pupils and financed events for young children. I mean, bro, they were allegedly, quite literally helping him. It seems like they were quite literally helping him, like, set all this stuff up. And, like, I don't know. That's, yeah. Uh, Maybe we do a deeper dive on this a little bit later, but it is very late. I'm very tired, if you can't tell. I'm about ready to pass out. So I appreciate you guys coming in for honestly, our first official live stream that wasn't just a test. Kind of botched the opening. They were trying to get both of us in there thinking we could do something cool like that, but apparently not. Maybe there's a way and we just have to spend a little bit more time on it. But yeah, I mean, it was honestly kind of anticlimactic. I was expecting, um, I wasn't expecting to find out that all this stuff was already released, and it is what it is. I hadn't seen it. I'm guessing some of you guys hadn't either, so I hope this was a worthwhile stream for you to sit in, and I appreciate. We had like 23 viewers, it looks like. I don't know if that's still current. Let's look. 24 viewers. So, I mean, we had a pretty decent turnout. Appreciate you guys coming and checking us out. I mean, we're planning on doing more of these. You know, for me especially, I'm trying to run the political section. This kind of stuff I think is more easily hashed out in, video format than an article. Honestly, it's a little bit easier for me to sit down in front of a laptop and just talk to you guys than spend all the time writing when I'm already spending a lot of time reviewing articles for everybody else that works with us. But yeah, I guess if you guys like this, we'll continue to do some more of it. So, um, yeah, again, I appreciate y'all joining, and I guess for now, we'll sign off. Hope you have a good rest of your night or day or whatever time it is wherever you guys are at, and we'll catch you later.